All right, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a really nice weekend. Okay, your hyperpigmentation fix, the action plan for fading skin discoloration. So you can follow along here and see some pictures that I'm sharing. Let's talk about what causes skin discoloration. So it's caused by sun exposure. All types of acne, teens and adults can get skin discoloration. Hormonal changes, pregnancy and, menopause, things like that. Inflammation, heat, harsh products, and then skin trauma, burns, bug bites, cuts and scrapes, and genetics. So these are all the things that cause both red and brown discoloration, and really everyone deals with this at one stage or another of their life. So how to fade it. There's no one single product or quick fix that will erase stubborn pigment. We wish there was, but that's just not how it works. Instead, it requires a combination of targeted ingredients, multiple products, and various treatments to target it from every angle. So it's essential to understand why your skin is producing this pigment in the first place so that you can prevent it. But most importantly, when it comes to fading hyperpigmentation, you have to be patient. It takes time. And so the reason why I say there's no one single product or quick fix, I mean, that's with everything, right? Like acne. Oh, Renee, what's the best product for acne? No, you have to hit it at different angles. Rosacea, aging. I mean, think about your body, right? Like, oh, how do I get my body really healthy? Well, it's not just doing one thing. It's a whole comprehensive approach. And that's why we have to look at discoloration that way as well. 4 types of skin discoloration. So as you can see here, we've got melasma. So that's kind of that brown color, more patches. Then we've got in the second image, post-breakout marks. As you can see, this is someone with a deeper skin tone. They are more likely to get this because they have more melanin in their skin. Age, so just sunspots. Remember, as we age, pigment cells rise to the surface. So that this is why you get little spots when you get older. And then lastly is freckles. This is, that's genetic. They're born with that. And then they can also get darker with age as well. So let's touch on brown hyperpigmentation. This is a before and after of one of my clients. As you can see, what a difference. Incredible. She has brown hyperpigmentation, hormonal, and it was also, I think, from some medication she was on. And as you can see, we totally cleared her skin up, and we will talk about how. All right, this is what you need to do at home. So when we look at hyperpigmentation and getting rid of discoloration, there's professional treatments that you can do and then home things. I'm going to focus more on home care, but we are going to touch on what things you can do from a professional standpoint. So the goal with getting rid of brown pigmentation. So first we're talking about brown. I will get into red here in a minute, but brown. So melasma, brown spots, sunspots. So the goal is to get overactive melanin cells to calm down. That's one of the strategies. How do we do that? Well, first up, using a no sting, no burn vitamin C serum, like vitamin C and E treatment. Everything that's in the Renée Rouleau line. So that's this product here. But let me touch on the no sting, no burn and what that means. So a lot of vitamin C serums are formulated with ascorbic acid. Listen to the word, it's an acid, and many of them have a pH of about 3.5. When we have skin that, the melanin cells are overactive, we don't want to cause any unnecessary irritation. And so vitamin C formulas now, many of them are used with what's called THD ascorbate, which is considered to be the new gold standard of vitamin C. And the benefit is they're stable, but also they don't sting or don't burn the skin. So you'll never get what's called a vitamin C acid burn. So again, when I talked about what causes pigmentation to come in the first place, we don't want any inflammation on the skin because the skin is already inflamed. So if you have hyperpigmentation, look for something with THD ascorbate in it, like Renée Rouleau vitamin C and E treatment. Really, really effective to get those melanin cells to calm down and ultimately fade. Next up, avoiding unnecessary heat. So saunas, hot yoga, steam rooms. We know that heat further inflames the skin and keeps pigment cells alive. Now, I do have some brown spots that are coming up this past couple years because I'm almost 56. But I work out in a sauna, 130 degrees for an hour, and I do this probably 5 days a week. That's a decision that I've made for myself. So I know that's not helping my pigment, but to me, it's worth it. So, but just keep in mind that these are choices you have to make. So just know that all that heat is not helpful for hyperpigmentation. Next up is cooling the skin when the skin does get heat activated. So when I get home from working out, I will do, a cold splash to my skin. I'll go in my refrigerator or freezer and grab my toner ice cubes. You can also use an ice roller. So you can do this to help cool heat activated skin. And I'll show you in a second what toner ice cubes are. Next up, or actually, let me just show it to you now. Here we go. So these are toner ice cubes. You can make them at home, and we love using moisture infusion toner, but you can use any type of toner. But you make them into little ice cubes in a little tray, put a little stick in there, and rub them on your skin. And they're really good for calming the skin when it gets hot. And then hydrating as well. Then Hyperfix Fading Toner. This is our brand new product that we just launched last week. It is so good. This has what is called tranexamic acid. Now, I spoke a minute ago about acids, the vitamin C acid that you don't want to use. This is not an exfoliating acid. This is why this is so beneficial, because it's not exfoliating and you can use it twice a day. What tranexamic acid does, and we also have a niacinamide in this formula as well, but you use this twice a day. And unlike exfoliating acid toners, which oftentimes you hear that those are targeted towards pigment, and they are, but if you're using an acid toner twice a day, that can affect your skin barrier and be too harsh, especially as we're leading into summer. So tranexamic acid helps to stop the pigment producing pathways to get hyperpigmentation to fade away. So this is really, really good, and consider this a new tool in your pigment reducing toolkit. Really effective. Again, going into summer, this is when you need to be hitting it from every angle. And this is an amazing product to use. And we've had great results with this. Next up, wearing sunscreen, but you have to apply it generously during all daylight hours. So obviously, you know about sunscreen, oh yes, I wear it all summer long. But here's the thing, when it comes to hyperpigmentation, you need to make sure you're applying it generously. So let's talk about it like this. Right now, what's really popular to use is tinted moisturizers. Let's talk about that. It's a moisturizer, check. Oh, good, I can moisturize my skin. It has a sunscreen in it, check. I get to protect my skin. Oh, it has a little bit of a tint to it, so I don't have to wear foundation. So it's, gives a little bit of coverage. Check, right? 3 things in one product. I don't like that at all. Why? Because you're not going to apply that much of it. For sunscreen to really work, you have to literally put it on heavy-handed. And most people aren't going to use that because it's got moisturizer in it, might be a little greasy. It's got sunscreen in it, might be a little greasy, and they're not going to use enough. So think of it this way. Using like a tinted moisturizer, one product that does all 3, it's like getting your nails done and just using one coat of polish, right? It's like, oh, this is your base coat, your polish, and your top coat all in one product. No, that doesn't work like that. Have you ever just, it just doesn't look good. So, but yeah, think of it like the analogy of just one coat of polish. It's sheer, it doesn't give enough coverage. So I like to layer my products. So I'll use, obviously vitamin C, but my Weightless Protection SPF 30 is a moisturizer and sunscreen in one. Because think about it. Let's just say you just use a regular moisturizer, you're coating the skin cells and your sunscreen may not be protecting your skin cells. So basically having a moisturizer and sunscreen in one, you put this on, apply it with a heavy hand because it's so light and you can use a heavy hand and never feel greasy from it. And you're going to put this on, it coats the skin cells, moisturizer and sunscreen in one. And then what you do next is put a foundation on. So that is giving another layer. So going back to that nail polish analogy, you want to layer, right? So then you put a foundation on. Even if it doesn't have sunscreen in it, all foundations have what are called iron oxides that act as sun protection. So that's why I always say, and this is my next tip here, wear foundation makeup every day to give additional protection. Real quick story, when I came to Dallas and started my my company, Renée Rouleau in Dallas, all the Texas women, all the Dallas women had such beautiful skin. These are women in their 60s and 70s. Why? This is the rule they followed. These are like older traditional Dallas women. They 4 rules. 1, I go to sleep after my husband, so he never sees me without makeup. I wake up before my husband and put my face on and put my makeup on. And when I get a facial, I come in with a full face of makeup. And at the end of the facial, my makeup goes back on and I'm back out in the world. There's this expression in Dallas, which is you don't even go to the grocery store without your makeup on. Now, this is less so, but this was 28 years ago when I first moved there. And these very traditional Southern women, these are the rules they followed, right? But what did that mean? That meant, and they did this all through the 50s, 60s, 70s, putting their face on, in the morning before their husbands woke up. What does this mean? During all daylight hours, they had foundation on their skin, and they didn't have sunscreens, and foundation back then, but it acted like a sunscreen. So I share this to say, wear foundation every day. It's an extension of your skincare routine. It's an extension of your anti-aging strategy. Don't think about foundation as, oh, I don't want to wear it. I want my skin to breathe or whatever. Remember, the skin doesn't have a respiratory system, so it doesn't breathe like that. But wear foundation makeup every day. It gives additional sun protection. And then you might also consider a bleaching agent. So there's prescriptions or non-prescriptions. They have what's called hydroquinone in them. I mean, there's a little bit of, you can't use them for long periods of time. I don't always like to go down that path, but sometimes it's needed for really stubborn pigmentation. Okay. Now, the next strategy for brown pigmentation. So the first one we spoke about was to get overactive melanin cells to calm down. The next one is to break down pigmentation stains. This is the second strategy. How do you do that? You use a leave-on exfoliating acid serum 2 to 3 times a week. So our strongest one, you're always going to want to use one for your skin type, but our Pro Results Power Serum is our strongest one. And you're going to use this underneath moisturizer a couple nights a week. Next up, you're going to also dissolve and break down pigmentation stains with triple berry smoothing peel. You can use this once a week as part of an at-home facial. And this also really works to really break down that stubborn pigmentation. I call them pigmentation stains because really, especially with melasma and sunspots, it's like your skin has been stained and they're very hard to get rid of. That's why post-breakout marks, those are typically newer, fresher cells, so they're a little quicker to get rid of. But brown spots and, melasma, those are much harder. Your skin cells have a memory. It's harder to remove those stains is what I call them. So, and then consider using a prescription retinoid or a retinol 2 to 3 times a week to help increase cell turnover. And we have that with our advanced resurfacing serum, which is good for sensitive skin types. Next up, the next goal is to lift off stubborn pigment stains. So the previous one I said about breaking them down, and you do that with acids and retinol. The next is actually lifting. So that's a physical form of exfoliation. So using a gentle facial scrub 2 to 3 times a week, we have our triple berry smoothing scrub. You can use it once with the peel and twice on its own, but that's that lifting action. Shaving. So men, when they shave their skin, pigmentation gets lighter. You could also get an optional and at-home face shaver to use once a week, and that actually helps to remove like vellus hairs, but also it's that physical exfoliation as well. But you need that lifting action. That's what actually takes pigment off that you dissolved when you used acids. So this is really a key step and a key step that people forget about. All right, so let's touch on red and purple hyperpigmentation. So strategies are a little bit similar, but this is more for post-breakout marks, also called PIH, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So here we have a client, Amanda, and we used her as the test case for a Hyperfix fading toner. After 6 weeks, this is the only thing that she added to her at-home routine, and you can see what an incredible difference she had in just 6 weeks. So this is for the red and the purple, and this affects all skin tones. Light, she's on the lighter side, but all the way to deep skin tones as well. So the at-home action plan, similar to brown pigmentation. The goal, but this one's different in that we start with, let's try to lessen the breakouts and prevent scarring. Melasma, brown spots, those are harder to prevent. But obviously breakouts, if we have someone never break out again, then guess what? No post-breakout marks, right? So how do we lessen breakouts to prevent that scarring? Get regular facials with an esthetician with manual extraction to keep the pores clear. Remember this, any little clogged pore you have is a lodging in the pores. It's a future breakout waiting to happen. So keeping your pores clean is essential. Next up is using rapid response detox mask. I know many of you are very familiar with this, but this is really good for interrupting breakouts in their early stages. And let me touch on that. This is rapid response detox mask. It's really, really hydrating, but it also has this superpower to it, which is what we did, what's called a kill study. We created a broth and we added C. acnes bacteria to the broth. And within 7 minutes, as represented here by the dots, the fewer dots, it destroyed 98.6% of that C. acnes bacteria. What that means is when it goes onto the skin, it basically tells your skin, hey, C. acnes bacteria, you can't have a party on my face, go away. And that's how we interrupt breakouts in the early stages. You also need to learn the life cycle of a blemish and how to treat your blemishes when they appear. I have a great blog post on this, but if you need to understand that from the minute you get a blemish to when it's left with a scar, there's a whole process of healing in that life cycle. And we have great blog posts on that, and we teach you how to treat a blemish and when and with what type of product. You also don't, so like anti-bump solution in our line, that should be the first thing that goes on a blemish, no matter what type of blemish it is. Don't pick at your blemishes. We all know this, but just keep in mind that there's already trauma happening with this blemish, and that's why you get discoloration. But if you're picking at it and making it worse, then you're just setting yourself up for more scarring. That's going to take even longer to fade. You're going to want to use products exclusively for your skin type. Take our skin type quiz at reneerouleau.com and also consult with an esthetician. They are, specialists in acne and can really help you to get on an action plan to prevent breakouts from appearing in the first place. All right, so similar to brown pigmentation, the goal is to get overactive melanin cells to calm down. So again, no sting, no burn vitamin C, avoid unnecessary saunas, hot yoga steam rooms, cool the skin with toner ice cubes or ice roller post-workout, use Hyperfix fading toner with tranexamic acid, gentle enough to use daily, add to cart. I'm telling you, this is incredible. Wear sunscreen applied during all daylight hours, especially if you're acne prone. Weightless protection SPF 30 is really good for people with acne and clogged pores. Really, really good. And then foundation makeup every day. We have a great blog post that talks about what are the best foundations for oily acne prone skin. So Maddie can put that in the chat and you can read that. Consider a bleaching agent if necessary. Again, just like brown pigmentation, we want to break down pigmentation stains. So this means leaving on an exfoliating acid serum 2 to 3 times a week. So BHA clarifying serum is the one that is best for acne prone skin, but obviously use one for your skin type. Once a week, triple berry smoothing peel as part of an at-home facial. Potentially use a prescription retinoid or retinol 2 to 3 times a week to increase cell turnover. The reason why I say potentially for red pigment is because prescription retinoids and retinol may increase breakout activity. So they, and again, the more breakout you have, the more discoloration you have. So you have to be careful. I don't always recommend retinoids and retinol for people with acne. It depends on the type of acne. If you have a lot of cystic and pustular and really inflamed acne, in my experience, my clients have not had good results with that. They do better with acids. If it's more clogged pores, closed comedones, that's where a prescription retinoid or retinol can be most beneficial in my experience. Again, just like with brown pigment, lifting off stubborn pigment stains. We do that with using a gentle scrub 2 to 3 times a week, triple berry smoothing scrub, and then optional and at-home face shaver twice a month. What type of professional procedures will reduce all types of pigmentation, whether it's red and purple or brown? Treatments like lasers, microdermabrasion, microneedling, chemical peels, and dermaplaning. Dermaplaning does that lifting action, which is so important. Chemical peels do the dissolving. But consult with an expert esthetician or a skincare professional that can talk about how you can get a boost to what you're doing at home. But it's so important that what you're doing at home is addressing everything that touches your skin, is focused on helping to get skin cells, pigment cells to calm down. So really, really focus on your home care routine. And then, like I said, see an esthetician or skincare professional for a boost above and beyond what you can't get at home. Okay, so opening it up for questions. Let me know what you have for me. All right. Questions. I know Maddie has been answering questions. Yes, we will be sending the recording. What's my favorite foundation? So in general, I'm more in the aging category now. So I do like Chanel foundations. I feel like those are really, really, I love all of their formulas. I think they really do foundations really well. So I would check out Chanel foundations. But if you are more acne prone, thank you, Maddie. She just put it in there. If you're more acne prone, then Maddie probably put the blog post there, but read the ones that I mentioned in the blog post. I don't remember which ones those are. What are my thoughts on Skin Better Compact as SPF? I've never used it. I'm not familiar with it. So I can't answer that. What if I'm doing all the things, but still getting closed comedones here and there? Problem with mine is they tend to turn cystic. So are you getting those pores cleaned out from an esthetician? Sometimes people need every 2 weeks to get on top of that, once a month. And then once they get clear, then you can go less often, but you definitely need to use either our BHA clarifying serum or our pore and wrinkle perfecting serum. But also, I want to make sure that those are closed comedones. Remember, skin growths can kind of look like clogged pores, but really they're skin growths and they have to be removed. Do we have any questions here on Instagram Live? I'm going to scroll down. Does anyone have any questions? I can answer some of those questions, multitasking here. Is there a Renée Rouleau esthetician in Northern California that I'd recommend working with? So if you go, Maddie can also put the link, also at reneerouleau.com. We have a list of all of our pro partners. So you can see if someone is in your area, or you can recommend someone, have them fill out an application and they can become a pro partner if you know an esthetician in your area. Are hydrofacials helpful? Yes, they are, but I like microdermabrasion better. Okay, questions here. What are your thoughts on microchanneling for hyperpigmentation? I have never personally had that done. Maddie, do you want to answer that? Because Maddie does that. May I know about the difference between Asian people and white people pigmentation? I see it, it's all the same to me, right? All it is overactive melanin cells. So They all, doesn't matter the, skin tones. To me, I treat it all the same and have had amazing results. So ultimately, just follow the action plan that I created. Also, for anyone here on Instagram Live, you couldn't see my PowerPoint presentation. So if you sign up for our company emails, we're going to send a recap of it, and then you can see it all. What if a client has rosacea along with it? Do you suggest the same treatment? I do, but you just have to use things for their skin type. So it's all about barrier repair for rosacea. Our ultra gentle smoothing serum would be the best leave-on acid exfoliator, but for sure my vitamin C and E treatment is great because it's the no sting, no burn. So absolutely. Any possibility of bringing back? Oh, no, unfortunately, no. That was a long time ago. You must be a spa customer, but no plans for that. I have reactive and sensitivities in my skin after my skin barrier was damaged. Are these products gentle enough for a skin that's more? Absolutely. So check out our skin recovery lotion, our rest day mask, our skin recovery balm. Hyperfix is really good. Our new toner, really good for barrier repair because niacinamide is really excellent. So yes, we specialize in sensitive skin. Take the skin type quiz. You could be a skin type 4, skin type 5, or skin type 9, and it will list product recommendations. You've used Triluma twice. First time worked, second time it didn't. Do you have virtual, or how do we know which products to use or which ones? Yes. So take our skin type quiz at reneerouleau.com. Maddie here is in the chat. She is also an expert esthetician. She can set up a consult with you if you would like to do a virtual consultation. But yeah, so look at, we'll be sending an email with this recap, but everything that I mentioned is appropriate for your skin. The only thing is the pore and wrinkle perfecting serum, the Pro Results, the Ultra Gentle, or the BHA clarifying serum. Those are 4 leave-on acid exfoliators. So you're just going to want to choose the one for your skin type. But yes, we would be happy to set you up with an action plan for home. And Plano and Bishop Arts. Great. Are there any Renée Rouleau estheticians or products specifically in Canada? So no, our products are not sold over there, but we ship there every single day. Okay, what questions here? Vitamin E isn't great for acne-prone skin. Are there ingredients to avoid in vitamin C for acne-prone skin? So our vitamin C and E treatment, the reason why we added vitamin E to it is because the research shows, Duke University did a big study on this, when C and E are used together, it increases the antioxidant effect. So that's why it's used. But this formula is safe for acne-prone skin. I think your question is like vitamin E. Yeah, if you're using the pure capsule of vitamin E at full strength, 100%, that's a different story, but that's not how we used it in this product. How do you become a pro partner? The best question ever. Link in my bio, and you can apply there. All right, any other questions? Which ingredients is best for melasma? So there's not one ingredient that's best for it. And that was, if you sign up for our emails, we will send a recap of this. I'm assuming you weren't there in the beginning. There is no one product, one miracle thing that is best for hyperpigmentation. That's not how it works. You have to hit it from different angles using different ingredients, different products, different times a day, different, during the week. That's how it works. You have to hit it from different angles. That's just like saying what one product is best for acne. No, it's a comprehensive approach. That's not, that's just not how it works, unfortunately. So you need to hit it from different angles. And that was what I shared today on this webinar, is how to hit it from different angles to get this full comprehensive approach and ultimately drive results. Okay, perimenopausal and experiencing hormonal acne, loyal fan of vitamin C and E. Thank you. And we'll incorporate the new toner. I'm telling you, everyone, Hyperfix Fading Toner. Add this to your cart. It is so good. Every skin type can use it. Every skin tone can use it. Summer. Let's talk about summer. When are pigment cells most active? Right now. Heat. You spend more time outdoors. But people are slowing down on what they're using. You might not be using a retinol as much because you're spending time outdoors. You might not be getting laser treatments, right? Ask any esthetician, Who's signing up for laser in the summer? Not that many people because they're spending time outdoors. So basically, you don't want to just let everything go for your pigment reducing strategy. You still, I mean, this is of all the times a year, this is when you need to be using products. But again, you don't want to use, you might be backing off on some of the things because you're spending more time outdoors. Enter Hyperfix Fading Toner. You can use it twice a day and you're getting that tranexamic acid, not an exfoliating acid, but this helps to fade pigmentation. You're getting it on your skin twice a day with no irritation, no sensitivity, no disruption of the skin barrier. So definitely get this. Maddie, she loves our Hyperfix Fading Toner. The only thing that has completely gotten rid of all my brown spots is Fraxel. How realistic my expectation should be with at-home care, only since Fraxel is prohibitively expensive. So here's the thing. Yes, Fraxel, a very aggressive treatment, and it absolutely works. But I question, were you using all the right things at home? So keep in mind, pigment cells will come back. You know, that's how it works. You can make them go away, but again, pigment cells rise to the surface with age. And so if you get on the right strategy at home, then you may not have to get a Fraxel as quickly. So again, follow my action plan, and that's going to support, you getting longer term results from Fraxel. Great question, Leslie. All right. Thank you for your consistency, Hunter. All right. Will Pro Remedy Oil come back? I'm coming back with something even better. And guess what it's for? Hyperpigmentation. Because really, that's such a big concern. There's no one that's not affected by hyperpigmentation. I mean, from acne to aging, everything in between, we're all affected by it. And it's so important that you have a really good action plan for a pigment reducing strategy. All right, Brenda, you're the best. In the before and after photo, the brown pigmentation, was that all just from product usage? Great. Let's go back to that and let me talk about that. So this was a client, give me one sec. This was a client that I had, and I absolutely I had her on that action plan that I spoke about. Hold on one second, guys. All right. I know these results are incredible, right? Okay. So let's look at her skin. She had, just really, really tough. Let me show everyone on Instagram Live. Hold on, I'm going to turn out my computer here. Can you see that? So look at her forehead here. So what I did is, first and foremost, we didn't have tranexamic acid when I had her as a client, but I did everything that I had the vitamin C and E treatment. I got her on the Pro Results serum. I had her using, at the time it was mint buffing beads, a facial scrub, triple berry smoothing peel. I had her use our advanced resurfacing serum, which is a retinol. So yes, everything at home, short of Hyperfix Fading Toner, I had her use. Then all I did with her was microdermabrasion, and I did a few salicylic acid chemical peels. So yeah, some peels, microdermabrasion, because microdermabrasion does the lifting. And that's when I talked about it. It's so important that you don't just dissolve pigment cells. You have to lift them off. I always tell the story. My now late husband, he had a brown spot on his face and he didn't care about it, but I was always like, no, let's get rid of that. So I would put on there acids. I would, we even had a hydroquinone skin bleach that I would dab on there, and he'd just be on the couch watching sports or whatever. And I was just, always putting stuff on it, and it definitely helped fade it for sure. But every time he shaved his face, he shaved like twice a week. Every time he shaved his face, it was like 30% lighter the minute he shaved it. So any of you estheticians that do dermaplaning, you know this. That blade, that shaving that's going over the face, the skin gets so bright. That's why dermaplaning is really effective for hyperpigmentation. We didn't do it back then. We had microdermabrasion, but that's why facial scrubs, that lifting action, you have to lift it off. You can't just work everything dissolving it. So yeah, so no lasers on her, just an esthetician doing the Lord's work with her hands. All right. You did microdermabrasion and it broke my whole face out, tiny bumps. Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes people can get sensitive to certain things. All right. Any other questions before we wrap? Really great questions, everyone. Okay. So next steps. So Instagram Live, some of you joined late. If you want to see a recap of this, you can sign up for our emails at reneerouleau.com and we will include it in an email. I'm sure I'll put something on stories with a link to it as well. You can also contact us at reneerouleau.com and we can send you the link that way. And then as far as this products, I know I said a lot of things. So we're going to recap this in an email with a step-by-step action plan and a link to all the products. But again, reach out to Maddie, our expert esthetician at reneerouleau.com. And you can set up a virtual skin consultation with an esthetician and she can walk you through. Take the skin type quiz. We actually are launching our new skin type quiz soon, which is going to be amazing. So it's going to be new and approved, but take our skin type quiz. You'll be put into one of the 9 skin types and then it will recommend the right products. But just know vitamin C and E treatment is for everyone. Triple berry smoothing peel and is for everyone. So a lot of the products that were mentioned that everyone can use, but the leave-on acid exfoliators, we have 4 of them and you have to choose the one for your skin type because some of you are a little sensitive and we need to cater to your sensitive skin barrier. Yes. So, where to buy Renée Rouleau products. You can buy them at reneerouleau.com or one of our 40 pro partners. So there's a link in my bio on Instagram, to get to our site. And, if you scroll down to the bottom of our site, it will tell you where you can find an esthetician in your area and buy the Renée Rouleau products. Keep in mind, not every esthetician sells every product. So you might want to get in touch with them first. Thank you, Lily. I'm glad you just started using my products and love them. So I hope this was really beneficial. But let me just reiterate this one more time. It is summer. And of all the times a year when you need to focus on using, the right products and ingredients for your pigmentation, now is the time. If you have post-breakout marks, UV light is just going to keep those melanin cells awake. If you have melasma and brown spots, that keeps those awake as well. That's why applying sunscreen generously, wearing foundation every day to give additional protection for the skin, using Hyperfix fading toner twice a day, using the other recommended products, the scrubs, the peel, vitamin C to help suppress melanin activity. Again, you have to hit it from different angles. There's not one product that is just going to solve all the problems of the world. That's not how it works. But I really hope that you found this webinar really beneficial. And I really know that we are going to get you on the pathway to getting smoother, clearer, and more even toned skin so you can feel more confident in your skin. So sign up for our emails if you haven't currently gotten them. Really, really helpful. And we'll send the recap and the product recommendations. And I hope everyone has a really wonderful day. And for those of you that use my products, thank you very much for being a supporter of Renée Rouleau and putting your face in my hands and the trust that you give to me. I really, really appreciate it. So everyone have a wonderful day and I hope everyone had a great weekend. Bye, everyone.